rode out to Lake Ray Hubbard this morning, and I saw where the water had dried up almost halfway into the lake. I know just like last summer, it was about 10 or 12 feet from the bank, normally where it used to be. I rode out there, and from the highway, I could see the ground in the middle of the lake. And when I saw that, God just reminded me, he said he's preparing his earth for fire. Because the word of God does say he won't be water for fire next time. So they can do whatever they want to try to do to the ozone layer. But you have to know and understand that we are living in the last days. Now watch this. In reading the word of God, Paul, Peter, James, John, all of the disciples believed that they were living in the last days then. And if they were living in the last days then, how much closer are we now? I'm about somebody's spirit today because I need you to understand that some of us are living in situations that we've gotten comfortable with. And just because we're comfortable with it don't mean that God has finally accepted it.
Amen. Amen. My God.
And that's not just dealing with people that's living together and ain't married. That's dealing with some of us that get drunk on the regular. That's dealing with some of us that are two-faced. One way at church, another way at home. You understand, when God begins to sever our conscience, which means he's turning us over to a reprobate mind. In other words, the sin that you commit don't bother you no more.
Wow.
No, I didn't even come here for all this. You're the very reason why I'm here. Amen. And I'm not just talking to you. Watch this. I got to preach to me first.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
So sometimes, I got this from yesterday, sometimes when I'm talking real harsh and real smart, I ain't talking to you, I'm talking to me.
Amen.
Oh, you think when I go home I don't have to deal with the same message I just preached?
Amen.
I don't skate around my own stuff. You may not know what my stuff is, but I preach on it probably harder than I preach on anything else.
Amen.
It ain't your job trying to figure out what my stuff is.
Amen.
Amen. But because I'm telling you that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Amen.
And so therefore none of us have the right to act like we're all that. But then somebody would say that preachers shouldn't preach on certain things that they're guilty of. But then it's like, okay, if that's the case, Moses should have never wrote the 10 Commandments.
Amen.
Because Moses wrote the 10 Commandments after he killed somebody.
Yeah.
And just because you may be guilty of it don't mean you don't have a responsibility to preach it.
Amen.
Because if that's the case, well, nobody can preach it.
Amen.
When nobody can teach it, churches would be empty. But God's hope and prayer is that if I tell you to preach and teach it, and you are yet guilty of it, that whatever you preach and teach convict you enough to change it.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, when you're in a position of leadership, preaching and teaching, God gives you an extended grace. And that's what may not seem fair to some people, is that as ministers and as pastors, as leaders, God understands that a lot of times when he calls us, he's not calling us because we're perfect. If anything, he's calling us because we messed up worse than anybody. And I want to talk real quick in this little area for somebody that's using church hurt as a reason not to get back into church. The devil is a lie. Nobody in the church hurt you that bad.
Amen.
Because if you allow what somebody at a church do to mess your life up, then you put that person in that church in place of God.
Amen.
That's your fault.
Amen.
Amen. Because people that you know, you cannot go into a church expecting everybody to treat you perfectly when everybody that's in there are going through some sort of rehabilitation just like you.
Right.
Now, does it pass and say it's okay? No, it doesn't. But what it does is put the responsibility back on you. And say, I'm not going to allow the same things to keep happening. In other words, I'm not going to keep doing the same things. God is the only one that's perfect.
Yes.
Amen. And the enemy, if all he got to do is make somebody in the church make you mad and you walk away from the church, then you was a simple Christian anyway.
Amen.
What somebody do shouldn't push you away from the church, any more than what somebody don't do should bring you to the church.
Amen.
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 I know y'all don't want to hear this today, but I'm just being honest with you. The church ain't going to be responsible for you going to heaven or hell.
Amen. That's right.
All the people at that church, just because I preach the word of God the way he tell me to preach it, don't mean I think I got it like that.
Yeah.
It just means I'm being obedient to what he's telling me to do now. Because you feel convicted, that's your own fault. So it's kind of point the blame back at you. Look in the mirror. Amen. By yourself, promise. I got some that don't agree with me today, but I don't care. But because I know I'm telling the truth. Now listen here. Something I learned on yesterday, and this is real. This is real. Statistically speaking, 3% of the families that have a child that's saved in the family, 3% of those families get saved. In other words, if mom and daddy sending the kid to church and the kid knows who Jesus Christ is, 3% of all families that are doing that actually get saved. It jumps when it comes to the mother. When the mother is saved, 17% of the families where the mother is saved get saved. That's good. But watch this. When the father is saved, statistically proven, 95% of the families are saved. And you wonder why, brother, you got a problem with the church. You wonder why you got a problem with them preachers. It's simply because the devil's using that to keep you out of the will of God. And watch this. If he can keep you out of the will of God, he can kill your whole family. Why? Because you ain't teaching your son to be submissive to God. See, most men have a problem with being submissive to another man because they never had to be. Amen. I ain't gonna let no man, you forget the man. The man is preaching what's coming from the Bible. So you're saying forget God. Right. How can they hear without, I don't know who this is for. I didn't even get up here to say all this, but somebody here needs to hear this day with your macho self. You're not strong in God until you learn how to be weak in God. There's no house that has a strong man in it whose children are disrespectful and unruly. Nothing against the mothers, but only when mothers are running the house, that's when children get options on whether they go to church or not. But when fathers are in position, in line with Christ, and his house, as for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord, I guarantee you those children are right there in their church as well. Amen. That's nothing against women, but there's a divine order and a divine structure. The man plays just as much of a role, if not more of a role in the child's life than the woman does. Amen. Oh, don't want to hear that because I got a room full of women, but the truth is the truth. Amen. Just because he hasn't stepped up to that role, don't mean that it's more valuable. I'm not going to put my notes up. Because I need our men to understand that watch this, men. We the reason there's homosexuals out here. Why? Oh, really? We the reason there are gangs out here. We the reason robberies taking place. We the reason for thugs. We the reason for all of this craziness that's going on out here. Why? Because if every man was the man of his house the way he's supposed to be, would none of this mess be standing. And here it is. I'm going to cut you deep. Why you want to sleep with her? And she ain't your wife in front of her kids. You're teaching her kids that marriage ain't important. I don't want to hear it today. I promise y'all that I was my place. I didn't have to say all this. But I need us to understand that there's a divine order and a divine structure And I'm saying this to the men because the house goes in the direction that the man leads it.
Amen.
And the man has got to lead by example. So long are the days that you feel as though it's for everybody but you. Hello, somebody. Y'all looking at me intense, boy. Y'all really intense. I need to make sure my brother's on guard. I got some that might try to get me in church. But I'm just telling you what God has put in my heart, in my spirit. When we say we trust God, that means we got to trust Him with everything. We got to trust Him with everything. Somebody say everything. Everything. We got to trust Him with everything. Now, I want to show you something real quick. You can read it in your own time. Genesis 17, 18, 20, and 22, all over the 4 different chapters. Watch what God does. Watch what God does. We sing a song, well, we don't sing it all the time, but there's a song called Withholding Nothing that some people sing that really ain't got no business saying. Because, let the truth be told, quite a few of us, if not all of us in here, withholding something from God.
Amen.
For real? Okay, I got about 50% of us withholding something. The other 50% is doing everything perfect. Where are my perfect people that raise them? Okay, so nobody want to raise their hand, so I'm going to say it again. Most of us, if not all of us, are withholding something from God. Amen. I agree with that. Own your stuff. Amen.